The Jedi were an ancient peacekeeping order, dedicated to the light side of the Force. If you are on this channel, I assume you are either a Star Wars fan or at least have a somewhat idea of what Jedi, Sith, and the Force are, but I'm gonna go into detail. The Force summarized is an energy field that binds in every creature in the galaxy. Midi-chlorians connect the living force and the cosmic force. The more midi-chlorians one has, the more fluent and skilled the wielder may be in the Force. All Jedi were selected with at least 4,000 midi-chlorians per cell, as that was the least amount of midi-chlorians one could have, and still be able to control the Force. The Jedi Order has existed for millennia, and before the Clone Wars, they fought off Sith until their presumed eradication along with pirates, criminal syndicates, and terrorists. During the High Republic era, the Sith were presumed to be wiped out, so the Jedi's most notorious enemy was the Nihil. They engaged in several battles with them. Approximately 36,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Jedi, who were the ancient predecessors of the Jedi Order, wielded Force-imbued blades. Resembling katanas, these were extremely sharp and were used in the Despot Wars and the Force Wars. The Jedi Masters later utilized Force sabers. These weapons were invented by the Rakata. They were energy blades forged with special crystals. These had a massive risk of the wielder falling victim to the dark side. The weapons are considered a cause for the Force Wars. The Jedi Order resided mainly on Tython. They were an ancient organization built on observing and studying the Force. Later on, after the Jedi fought off Rakatan invaders, a schism developed in the Order, which caused the Order to be split between the followers of Ashla light side of the Force, and the followers of Bogan dark side of the Force. Eventually, the followers of Ashla and the followers of Bogan battled each other for a decade. They wielded Force-imbued blades. However, the Bogan followers wielded Force sabers. The followers of Ashla came on top and became known as the Jedi, with the Bogan followers later being known as the Sith, eventually Dark Jedi, who were made up of both Bogan followers and separated members of the Jedi Order, went to war with the Jedi. This war was called the 100-Year Darkness. It was mainly fought using protozabers, which required an external power supply to wield. Unfortunately, the Jedi Order and the Force-sabers have been decanonized as they were part of legends. Force-imbued blades are still canon though. The Jedi Orders in the new canon content are the Dai Bendu. I'm about to tell you their history in new canon. The Dai Bendu primarily resided on Cruzan. They were ancient Force-sensitive monks who studied the Force. Their icon, which would later be used by the Galactic Republic, depicted 8 spokes joined to one disc, symbolizing the benevolent presence of the Force united in the galaxy. On the planet Octu, a mysterious figure known as the Prime Jedi was the founder of the Jedi Order, roughly 25,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. Roughly 5,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, a group of rogue Jedi eventually left the Order in favor of the dark side. This triggered the Sith Wars after the 100-Year Darkness, which, in this version, protozabers never existed due to Jedi being on element. Jedi fought the Sith with lightsabers. The Jedi later on managed to largely wipe out the Sith during the Sith Wars. Millennia later, the Jedi saw themselves pitted against the Sith once again when it turned out that they survived and were in hiding. The Sith were also accompanied by an army of droids. The Jedi fought alongside clone soldiers and multiple trained soldiers against the Sith and the Separatists. This battle went on for 3 years until they figured out the Chancellor was a Sith. Chancellor Palpatine then turned their clone soldiers against them. If you are a Star Wars fan, you would fortunately know what I'm about to say next. The Jedi's highly revered Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, turned against them. It was also a massive bloodbath. reducing the Order from a highly powerful working organization of Jedi Knights to a small group of survivors, slowly one by one being caught and killed by the newly established Galactic Empire. Eventually, however, a single Jedi known as Luke Skywalker joined the Rebel Alliance, a group working against the Galactic Empire. They managed to defeat the Galactic Empire. This led to the new era of Jedi. The Jedi, while never being as powerful as they originally were before, still recovered. Unfortunately, a Jedi known as Ben Solo fell to the dark side. With the help of the First Order, they installed a military junta which took over the galaxy, destroying the Hostia system and killed all Jedi. Fortunately, a Jedi known as Rey Palpatine, who was Sheev Palpatine's granddaughter, managed to fight off the First Order with the help of the Resistance. She then found herself face to face with Emperor Palpatine, who somehow came back to life. She eventually committed patricide on Palpatine, putting an end to the First Order. It's implied she rebuilt the Jedi Order in an unreleased movie. The Jedi are capable of channeling multiple abilities through their rare, unique skill at wielding the Force. These abilities include, but aren't limited to, mind tricks, manipulating objects, predict events before they happen, see the past of an object, superhuman agility, strength and durability, healing injuries, absorbing the energy of a projectile and firing it back, landing physical attacks like punching and kicking without actually touching the target, telepathy, mind reading and more. The list just goes on.